Hi, everybody. My name is Grace French. I'm a dancer and teacher at Elite Dance Force, and I'm here today with Kylene Geyer. She's also known as Coach Kai at Davenport University for their dance team. So, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk more Grace and meet virtually and talk about everything that dance team is in the collegiate world. So
Awesome, awesome. So, to start off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
absolutely. So it's my 6th year coaching. I am the head dance coach, as Grace had said, at Davenport University. I love it. It's my passion. I'm a part-time coach, but I give them full-time time. I did actually graduate from Davenport with my bachelor's and master's. Was actually the first dancer to sign for the team. And was the first captain to ever be appointed. So as you can tell, I've definitely followed it all of the years that we've been a team. This is our 12th season. And I just love investing in the future of the program and creating tradition and just really telling people what Davenport's about. We're located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm also super prideful of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I grew up here, and there's a ton of opportunity in this city, and I just love tapping into Michigan as a whole and Illinois and Indiana to bring people to Grand Rapids and showcase what we're all about.
Awesome. So, what's your favorite part about coaching a dance team?
Oh, that's a hard question. There are so many different facets of it. I'm a super competitive coach, so I always am hungry for a competitive nature. But just the relationships I build with each girl, and then understanding different natures of people. I mean, I've had tons of girls pass through my program, and they've taught me so much about myself too. And I'm not going to get emotional during this, but it's just amazing how much I've personally grown meeting all of these different girls and their influence from different areas. It's made me a better person. It's made the program a better person. And I just can't imagine my life without it, honestly. It's so fast. Like, there's just so many facets of it that make me so much more of a well-rounded person in the team as well.
That's so great to hear. So, if you had to ask your current dancers or past dancers one of the ways that you changed their life, what would they say?
Ah, gosh. I don't know. Don't ask them. I'm just kidding. I hope on just a life goal side that they're taught a lot about just achieving goals and being
Mhm.
managers and bosses and being able to handle it all. I work full time as a senior marketing manager at a hospitality company downtown. So I've always balanced both, and I've always had assistant coach that also balanced both. So I really hope it's taught them as women that they can do whatever they want. There's no glass ceilings. I also hope I've taught them just about being real. I'm not perfect, and I feel like sometimes they think I'm perfect because I'm older and that I don't understand where they're coming from on things, but I just try to be an open book, no judgment policy. They can come to me with anything from family issues to boy issues to school and academics if they're suffering, like just being an open door. And I hope that teaches them later in life to be that person for somebody else too.
That's great. And as a dancer on a dance team, what are some of the benefits that you have?
Yeah, on the team camaraderie side, I would say that's one of the biggest things. I mean, I think every single girl that has left our program has had lifelong friends. You have your high school friends, and some people maintain high school friends, but college friends are completely different. These girls stand in each other's weddings. Two of my best friends are from the team. I've stood in both of their weddings, and hopefully I'll get married one day and they can stand in mine. And the family bond is completely different than anything I've ever seen. You get into studios once in a while, and sometimes there's some cliques. It's big. They're big programs, but since we're so tight knit, they just really become sisters. And then beyond that, if they do want to step into a dance role in some career facet, whether teaching at a studio, being a pro choreographer, or dancing on a pro team, whatever line they want to go down, and some stop and they just pursue their business path or whatever they got their degree into. It just kind of depends. I think the connections that we make by hiring in outside choreographers is really awesome. It blows up the world of dance in the small West Michigan community, and I think it makes them more comfortable feeling to reach out to some really big names out in LA or even just in Michigan and kind of across the nation. So
Great. And so what does that time commitment look like for dancers at Davenport?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a year-round commitment. Fall and winter semester look completely different, as you can imagine. Our fall semester this year is a little bit different, but normally we would be focusing on game day. So we would be practicing all of our game day routines, sidelines, and really pushing for the spirit side of our program, which is, what we're funded on and a lot of people think that we just do. And then spring semester is all focused on nationals. So in the fall, we practice 3 days a week. Monday mornings, they're all technique based. We actually partner with Attila from the Grand Rapids Ballet. So he comes in every other week and still keeps ballet in our bodies.
Awesome.
And then Tuesday and Thursday nights we practice at Davenport. Usually we're cleaning routines at that point, still working on technique, obviously. Team bonding, and we do incorporate fitness in everything we do too. And obviously there is fitness that is incorporated beyond our normal practice set. So that increases kind of the closer we get to nationals. And then you do have all of Christmas break off, which is super nice. And then we step into winter semester. January and February, we usually like to incorporate a regional competition or two, whether it's through Dance Team Union or NDA. We do the U of M competition as well. So sometimes we have some weekends that are plugged in there, and then we add on weekend practices in March. So March is like our hard-hitting month. Sometimes we add on practices every night of the week, kind of dependent on where we're at in the piece. But typically it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday for that month. One thing that's really good about Davenport, though, is we have our own admissions coach, and she schedules your whole class schedule around our practice schedule. So you never have to really worry about conflicts. And if there are, obviously, you're a student first. So, that takes precedent.
Yeah, so that sort of brings me to the next question. First, is an admissions coach like normal for other universities, or is this specific to Davenport? Do you know?
I'm not really 100% sure. I know sometimes I think it's more of a group setting at some bigger schools. So you would be meeting with multiple people. I really like the one-on-one relationship that our admissions coach gets with our girls. And we also have like an advisor. So if anybody starts to fall behind on GPAs, I get an alert and nobody's ever in trouble, but we're just making sure that everybody's staying on track to actually graduate and secure that degree and that career that they're looking for. I would say it's probably an even mix between schools. It just depends if you're a club sport or a varsity or considered part of their varsity program. So wherever you're looking, that's always a huge question to ask, is if the dance team program is considered a club sport or if it's considered part of athletics. Usually if it's part of athletics, it's going to be funded and you're going to have a lot more of those resources when it comes to training, the athletic trainers and those coaches that I'm talking about. And then a club sport, unfortunately, sometimes they don't have as many resources. So it just kind of really depends on the university, but definitely ask those questions.
Yeah, and do you see that balance being hard for people, or for dancers specifically, or do you think it's something that's manageable?
You mean the workload?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely manageable as long as you keep track of everything. I mean, if you get a calendar and you put everything down, you can handle it. Do not procrastinate. That's when people get in trouble. If you start to pile on, that's when all the stress is going to happen. So that first semester of freshman year is very impressionable and very pertinent on teaching these girls or gentlemen on the team how to manage their own time. Nobody's holding their hand. They're the ones that have to walk to class and have to walk to practice and have to get their homework done on the side. So during the freshman year, we actually make it mandatory for 3 hours of study table time. And then your sophomore, junior, senior year, as long as you have a 3.0 or higher, you don't have to have that. But it is treated like practice time. So if you don't show up, then I'm talking to you. That time is allocated for homework. And usually that really helps. It helps the team understand how to allocate that time appropriately.
Great, that's good.
Yeah.
And what have you seen your dancers go on to do after college?
Yeah, there's quite a few different avenues. I've had a few go on to pro that have danced for the Lions and then had a part-time job with that. Typically the Lions do prefer that. I've had few that performed at D-League teams in Grand Rapids, which I know Kendall talked about as an opportunity here as the Grand Rapids Drive. A ton of them teach at studios. So some stay in Grand Rapids and they'll teach at studios locally here, or they'll go back to their homes or somewhere even way beyond that and teach at studios. But I would say the handful of them are still involved in, or 90% of them are still involved in dance in some way. Two of my assistant coaches have been on the team before. I've had some volunteer coaches that have been on the team before, but most of them, you know, always have a piece of dance in their life. We all need that. Obviously,
Yes.
I do too. And then a lot of them have a professional job, whether it's human resources. Kendall, I know that you talked about working for SheFit full time. I actually have a few girls that work for SheFit. So it just kind of depends on what their career goals are, but dance is always a part of it in some way.
That's great.
Yeah.
Um, so when you're watching girls audition, what do you look for?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely well-roundedness. We perform a ton of different styles, and we go to camp, and our routine is called a team routine. So it incorporates pom, jazz, and hip hop or contemporary. So I'm always looking for at least understanding the realm of each style of dance and hoping that it's in your body in some way. Obviously, I want to go get her personality with myself being super competitive. That's something I'm always trying to drive. This isn't just a hobby here at Davenport. All of the girls are on scholarship. We're fully funded. We pay for everything. So I want to make sure that when you're here, the asks that are of the team, it's treated like a job and you're just as excited and hungry and eager to win a national championship as I am and as our alumni are. So I'm looking for that eagerness, that drive, and then just, of course, performance. I'm a huge performance girl. I never was a huge technical dancer. I was all about performance, and that is what I like pick into. So if you can capture my heart in a second, then you're in.
Aw.
Yeah.
All about the heart.
It is. It really is. I'm always looking for somebody that will, like I had talked about, our culture is so important, and I want it to be somebody that is not going to, you know, hurt that at all. So I'm always looking for somebody that is going to be perfect fit for our family, our culture, and embrace it.
Awesome. How would you recommend a dancer prepares for a dance team at a collegiate level?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many opportunities nowadays to learn about all of the programs. I did not have that opportunity when I was young, and I wish that I had them. I highly encourage following Tribe 99 choreography, and then NDA and UDA. All of them host combines in some facet. Right now, obviously, most of them are virtual, but these combines, you showcase your talents, and there are a multitude of coaches there. You can go introduce yourselves to them. You can ask about their programs, and really understand how different all of them are and what's going to resonate with you most. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a big school? Are you looking for something a little bit more family and tight knit? And finding what's going to work best for you. Because again, you're a student first, so you want to make sure that you're happy in both facets, both for the program that they offer on the dance side and for what you're majoring in. But go to those, follow all the teams on Instagram or the social media channel that you prefer, and see their style, see if you match it, see if you vibe off of their culture, their family, their game day experience, their colors, whatever it is for you. Just do research. Don't get stuck on one. I promise you that's not the way to go, because it's getting very competitive out there. There are a lot of girls that want to dance on dance teams, and also just reach out. I would love if somebody just messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, I just want to know more. Don't feel like it's the coach's job to reach out to you. If you reach out, then I'm much more inclined to recruit you because I know you're eager.
That's awesome to know.
Yeah.
You might be getting some DMs.
I am an Instagram stalker, so I have
Oh,
recruited
yeah.
girls through Instagram. Super embarrassing, but hey, it
I
works.
think Kendall talked about that too.
Yeah. I'll be like at my work, like, oh, she's really good. I'm gonna message her.
I love it. So, moral of the story: post dance videos on your Instagram for dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it is not part of your, if it's part of your life, showcase it. Don't be
Right.
embarrassed. Never think that it has to be perfect. I promise you, you're beautiful. Just post it. Get it out there. It's part of your life. So.
I love it. So what's your biggest piece of advice for those who aspire to be on a dance team in college?
A lot of kind of what I said in the past question. Really, just do your research. Know if you are able to go to a combine, whether it's virtual or in person, what questions do you want to ask? So are you looking, if you're going into health, let's say, you're going to have probably a pretty strict regimen, especially when you're getting into your junior and senior year with hours that need to go towards clinicals and things like that. So ask if that's a capability. Ask if juniors and seniors that are going into that same program are able to still dance. If you're looking for more of a game day experience, ask what games they perform at. If you're looking for more of a competitive experience, ask who they compete with. Do they do regional competitions? Do they do UDA or NDA? And what styles do they do? And also just ask what style they're looking for. I think some of the questions that Grace has asked today too are great questions. What's your schedule look like? I mean, I get that question all the time, and I know these girls aren't writing it down nor remembering it. So just really ask questions that are important to you. Don't act like you have to ask the questions that are scripted that everybody tells you to ask. What's important for you in a program?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know this is going to be
Absolutely.
super helpful. Is there any place that people can reach out to you if they have more questions or want to talk a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the easiest way is through our Instagram. I manage it and I'm the one that responds to all the messages, and that's DU Dance Team. Or you can call me. I'm super into calling me. So just message us on there and I'll give you my cell phone, email. I'm super transparent, like I said. So whatever way you feel like communicating, I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Grace. Have a good one.
You too.